Hello and welcome to another video, and one that has been a long time coming, and that is more Hogwarts Legacy content. It has been a while since we finished playing Hogwarts Legacy with you all, live streaming it. I had an absolute blast, and I couldn't stop having the fun. So in the meantime, I have been spending countless hours, days even, working on my room of requirement, which is what we are here to show you. I'm going to be showing you in this video a tour of my room of requirement. Now, I have also done my vivariums, which if you aren't familiar, there are 4 of them attached to the room of requirement, but that would be a very long video. So we are going to break those out, and they're just going to be extra videos, and those will be fun, and I'm excited to show you those. But today is just the inside, and it's going to be, well, very exciting for me to share something that has taken me so much time to do and is just a representation of myself and a room I would love to live in and hang out in. But before we dive into that, if you are new here and you want to be a part of a community that believes weird is wonderful and magic is real, hit that subscribe button down below and get notified every time there is a new video. Alrighty, let's get this tour on the road. Real quick before we get into the tour, I wanted to tell you drop a few tips that help me, and just things to keep in mind that help me in building my room of requirement. And tip number 1 is to gather a heck of a lot of moonstone. You are going to need a lot of moonstone because you need it every single time you place something. And there are a lot of ways you can get it. I will link some people down below, or at least one link that I know of down below, for all of the locations out in the wild where there's good chunks of moonstone. But my number 1 tip is to get the, material refiner. And I purchased 3 of them, and basically every 10 minutes it populates, I think it was 30 moonstone. So get on that, you will need a lot of it. The rest of these tips are really just for people like me who have decision fatigue on the regular. The first tip I would say for that is to consider, when you're trying to build out a room, consider a theme or how you would use the room. So imagine you are actually living here and using it. What would you do? How would you use it? And what would be your theme? Maybe you want a house theme. I did a little bit of both of those, and I'm going to share what those are and how I approach that. But that helped me a lot to kind of focus. Another one would be to start with a small space. So if you're struggling with overwhelm and just there's so much to look at in place, start with a small space. And that could be a corner. You can block something off. Another thing is, this is just with regard to the vivariums, I would highly recommend starting with the swamp. And the reason I suggest starting with the swamp is I think, first of all, it's a smaller space, but it's a darker space, so you're not as overwhelmed by colors and decisions and how things look. When you take away a lot of that, it's easier to I found myself just placing stuff like nobody's business, okay? Maybe too much. This tip I had to remind myself of often, and that was when I would have those moments of just wow, what am I doing? What am I gonna do here? Just place something. My husband would say it to me, just place something. Just put it down. Sometimes just starting with the big things really helps. Sometimes just starting with a path helped. Sometimes just an entrance. Just place something. You can always remove it, and you might find that you would play off of those things, and then that just gets you started. And then the last tip is to remember you don't need to fill every single space. I am the kind of person that wants to fill everything. But especially in the vivariums, remember your animals live there. So, maybe not fill everything. But last and final tip is have fun. Have fun. This was such a blast, and I'm so excited to show you. So let's get this tour on the road again. Alrighty, welcome to the entrance of my room of requirement. First off, you could probably tell I have a theme. I actually have 2 themes. And I want to start by saying what the ambiance is that I chose, which is natural and earthy. I went through many. I love a good moody ambiance, but natural and earthy, also warm and cozy. Both of them really helped play with light a bit more and let me see the colors, because I really wanted to play with colors in this room. So my theme in this room, and I'm going to try and walk slowly here. I love Christmas. I love Halloween too, and I did itch the Halloween scratch.
Strike that. Reverse it. This way, please.
And I'll show you that in a vivarium later down the road. But I do love Christmas, and I am a Gryffindor. So this whole room right here is gonna be Gryffindor themed, and Christmas is just going on, okay? I decided I wanted a centerpiece. So we have the Christmas tree as the centerpiece, and we are playing with some Gryffindor colors. We've got the banners up there that came with the edges because you can change every wall. But here is our centerpiece, so let me take you around every little nook and cranny. So I was trying to think of what I'd be doing. This is a little bit more of a lounge area. So a place I can kind of write and sit and just be, you know? And I really like the way these curtains, the other side has them as well. And the walls of the red play off of that Gryffindor theme. And then we have a chess set over here. I put that there because it just made me feel like you would have gaming out. You'd probably be playing games during a Christmas season. So I had to do that. And I did not want to make everything red. That would just, I felt like, be really over the top. I wanted pops of red. And so I have the banners here, as you could see. And I love magical creatures. So I did magical creatures on both sides. And that's something that you will notice, and I'll back up once we get all the way around the edge there, is I'm trying to do a lot of framing of things, kind of one on the other side, but also not too much repetition. So we've got the red couch there, so just like a lot of loungy spots. All right, and then over here we have, and you can see those banners up top, so pretty, and that red couch. We have our Thestrals. You know, for the creatures that are quite large, I wanted them to be the ones that are like my favorite creatures, or at least be like featured in a place that really highlights them. So here's this area. I kept it, you know, a little simple over here, and I really like that. And then last spot over here is kind of my vanity area, I decided. I really like this divider. It has red in it. And I thought, like, you know, you'd be sitting here and working on, you know, your makeup or just getting ready, just getting yourself in the spirit for the day. And I picked this shelf because I thought, I don't know, there might be some things in there that I would use to get ready. And I don't, maybe somebody's sitting there watching me get ready like a creep. And then I just like that figure over there. So that's what I did there. But here is kind of like an overview, and you'll get to see a little bit more. You can see I chose the draping tapestries up top, and you'll see like the perks of those later on. Once we get to the top is how it frames things. And that's what I really liked about this, is we have some framing going on with the creatures on either side, the couches on either side, but still plenty of space. That was the other thing that I wanted to make sure of, is that there's a lot of like walking space. Space to be and breathe, but subtle things. Okay, so let me take you up this side here, and I'm gonna show you this right now. So you only get so many things for the wall, and there is a point where you might repeat it, but I was trying really hard not to repeat too much. So this wall is very architectural and kind of yellow, and I was trying to play it off of the banner up there, where the lion for Gryffindor. Oh, I also went with the owl because you can change this out. I mean, you got to have a magical creature, and I love that as a centerpiece. I love the gold around it. But I went with this because I made this top area, and you will see, be very Dumbledore-ish. I wanted it to feel like it was his office, but still Gryffindor vibes. So we've got a good loungy chair. I put some rugs down there. I'm gonna play with the color a little bit. Not that same solid red, but just something, because you don't want to repeat that. Having different textures and different varieties of the red really helps, I feel like, when you're trying to do a theme of color. And over here, I kept it really simple. And I just felt like that dragon and globe and just, you know, gold things. Dumbledore loves gold things, so do I. The Niffler and me. And then over here, this is going to be one of our vivariums. And in this vivarium is my phoenix. And I mean, the phoenix is the protector of Dumbledore and all of his lineage. So I thought this was perfect placement for this phoenix. And then when you come up here, you'll see why it was perfect placement. This is maybe one of my favorite areas. It's gotta be. And this is like my Dumbledore area. So you've got all of the reds going on. You got an owl there. I love the movement. I like to pick things that had movement. And the globe, and we can even, you know, because Dumbledore, I felt like he has a sense of humor. So that's why I put the little singing frogs there. But I loved I love the framing of this. This is one of my favorite spots. I thought, what a great place to like sit and just work on something and have a desk. Cause again, I was trying to think of like use for everything. So that is what my intent was with that. And then we move over to this corner here, and I have Christmas trees. If you didn't notice, they're framing both sides. One is on the other side over there, which are playing off of the center tree. Was my goal. It makes it seem like I put a lot of thought in, which I did. I really did. And then here's another little writing area, and I wanted it to feel very like kind of library-ish. And then we got a little owl statue over there and some lighting. And then another couch kind of playing off the other one. And then on this wall, so over here, I had placed this Quidditch statue that I love so much because it has this little snitch just flying around. The Quidditch rings, is that what they're called? Rings? And so I played off of that, and they had 2 Quidditch items. I put those here for your wall. So we have this one here, which is like a bulletin board. And then we've got the one that has like the bludger and the broom. And then I've got the Foxy the Phoenix up there, nice and big, just a portrait just playing off of that. And then we're gonna cross over into this section. And this up here is the swamp. So for these images, I went for like greens. I really wanted to play with some greens, and there is actually a swamp right up top here. So I was playing with that one. I think I started with the bottom one first. Now I will say I'm not a fan of like proclamations. So I was trying to envision these proclamations by making them really small as being positive ones, not like no music, no, you know, rowdiness. I don't know. I don't remember what all the proclamations were, but because they're so small, I'm just like imagining they say something else. But there's just not a lot of like non-picture shaped things. And I like the idea of something smaller and giving a different shape to the space. So, you know, you work with what you have. So here's our swamp area. We'll be getting into that in another video. And then over here is kind of a little nook, a little walkway. And I have a little mooncalf painting there. And then in this corner, we have a Christmas tree, and you will see that framed on the other side as well. I really like framing. Speaking of framing, look at that. I mean, I love the light playing off that mooncalf statue. I love a mooncalf, you all know that. I have me a mooncalf. His name is Biscuit, which is named after a mooncalf in Hogwarts Legacy. I will attach that video of when I got an unboxed Biscuit. He's adorbs. But I have, yeah, this statue here of the mooncalf. And then I put a little seat there just to kind of be like, hey, I'm just gonna sit and chill and stare at my mooncalf statue, you know, if I wanna have a little Zen moment. We have a lot of Zen moment spaces. And now I have seen some people go kind of all out back here, but I decided to keep it a lot simpler. I was viewing this as a space, and I tried not to block things. Like I was tempted to block even these walls, but I wanted everything to feel like it can actually be used. If I were to use it, I can access it. So I was playing off of that, but yeah, I kept this really simple, put some rugs down. I played off of the red with this shelf here, and then there were 4 crests that they gave us. So I put all 4 there, and then we've got the nice, I love that couch. It doesn't look comfy, but it looks pretty, okay? And I have some flower pots up there and the Gringotts Bank right there. I love that sucker. I wish it went up a size that wasn't like crazy large, and there's the flower pots on the other side as well. And then we come out here, and then we've got that Christmas tree and a globe. And then let me give you like a little view over here. Oh, but I put the Niffler painting up here. I didn't really have a lot of theme here other than, what was my theme? Yeah, some of my favorite creatures I put here. But the Niffler is in this location, is in the beach, or the coast is what it's called. So that's why I put it there, just because I can get lost very easily. So it was a reminder to myself as to where my creatures were exactly. Oh, but yes, let me show you. Look at the like view up here. All the greenery, and again, that like red framing, so pretty. Okay, so let's head down because that is the main section. We'll do one final look. Look at that tree. Play some games and the frames across there. I love it so much. I could live in this space. I don't know if I pointed out the book shelf here as kind of a little divider. I did a lot of that in this upcoming room. So let's give you a slow pan as we go to this next section, which, by the way, when you finish Hogwarts Legacy and you go into this section, it is going to expand, so you will have more room. So maybe wait to decorate this section and just start with the middle. That might help with decision fatigue. But oh God, I love this entrance. Look at that. Look at that hippogriff. So here we go into the, what are we calling this? The addition. And I did place all of these frames. They're kind of, I mostly was playing with shapes because you're not really gonna be looking at them too much. You're just gonna like, I just wanted that like hallway, you know, Hogwartsy feel, but you come down here to seeing this gorgeously sunlit hippogriff. I almost forgot the name. One of my favorite creatures. Like I said, I wanted to highlight the creatures I really love most. And on the sides here, I'll show you, which if you can't tell right away, I got a lot going on here. And I decided, let me back up. I really wanted it to feel, I like cozy spaces. I like to add a lot of things. It's what, like, I tend to add like a lot of things. I have a channel all about adding things, you know what I'm saying? And I really like a cozy vibe, and having like kind of more stuff, or closed in a smaller space, really makes me feel that way. But I also wanted a room of requirement feel. So almost like a organized chaos feel, because that is what I am, is like, although I'm kind of disorganized chaos, but in here it's organized chaos. So we've got this centerpiece. Then on the sides here, we have here I'll turn around and show you. We have a Niffler, so 2 more statues. I love these statues, and I put the Niffler portrait up there. Look how you see the Christmas tree back here. So pretty. Okay, so as I pointed out, wow, let's not get that close right there, you know what I'm saying? That first main room was Gryffindor themed. Well, the other reason that I wanted to section these out is because I was thinking about functions, what am I going to do, but also because I love the other houses and I wanted to represent the other houses. So I have them themed in different sections. So the first section, if you can't tell, we're moving into kind of this bluish color, and there's a reason I put the globe right here, that's blue. Is this gonna be like my Ravenclaw representation? And this is kind of the study, or I call it the library because I have a lot of bookshelves, but it's kind of a library mixed with a study, a place you would read. And I mean, I first think of Ravenclaws as the studious types, obviously. And we're playing off of the blue. I did these like stand-up banners in all of the 3 sections, the other 3 houses that I've represented, and tried to play off of the blue quite a lot, but subtly, it just pops here and there, like the chair, the couches, the Christmas tree. And I did all of this so that I could still walk around and you know, use the space. So we have a little spot to kind of study and be around some light. Globes just remind me a lot of Ravenclaws. And then I went with this crest as the centerpiece. Look at, oh God, I love like the suitcases up there and seeing the wings over there. But it is slightly off center, and that's another thing, and not everything has to be center. And sometimes that the offness, oh, let's not go over there, really works. And I feel like it works in this room. And I went with natural wood so that the blues could pop a bit more. But, and then we got a little bit of green on the cushion, but that is our study. So again, every space, and we've got a little knight guarding it. Every space is a different kind of use and theme. And the next theme, can you tell? It's my second house, or what one test told me is my second house, which is Slytherin house. Slytherin. And you can see the framing again of the 2 banners and the Christmas tree, because it's Christmas time. And then this is kind of just more of like a living room area. So you would study in the other room, and this is where you would just sit and hang out and, you know, well, not gossip. But I went for I was trying to go for like a dark academia vibe with Slytherin with pops of green. Now, I would not normally put animal carcasses on my wall, okay? I love me some animals, so I'm just going to imagine these animals died of natural causes, and I only had so much to work with here, okay? So don't come at me. But they play really well with each other, the bats, the dark background, the butterflies, and I didn't really have anything else, so I had the antlers kind of framing. So again, I'm just imagining natural causes, but I just think it gives a real dark academia vibe. And I've got the night over here. And I did go for a little bit of color, so it's a different green on that rug, but playing with the rest of the green. And then we have the Christmas tree, oh, Christmas tree. And then some green there. And then I really liked this urn, if you could see straight ahead next to that mirror. And I made that a green color. Can you tell the little plush dragon? They give us a little plushie, and of course I gotta put it somewhere. And I thought we might soften up the Slytherins a little bit, okay? Or just, you know, remind people that they are soft. They're not all darkness, okay? My second house is Slytherin. Wow, that was fast. Okay, so those are 2 areas, but I sectioned off back here as well. So now we're gonna walk into this section. And wow, real fast, okay. And what this obviously is a dining room area. I decided for a dining room that it would be, I played around a lot, that it would be best to put it in front of light. Like, wouldn't you love to eat like lit up like that and just get all the warm fuzzies while you're eating some tasty treats? So I have a chopping station over here, and I just like the tables with the pots because I wish there were potted plants that we can add, but this was the best option outside of that. And then we've got a clock over here. And then, and no, this isn't the Ravenclaw or the Hufflepuff section yet. Over here is our potions section. I didn't want things just willy-nilly. I really wanted, like, where would you work? Where would you do? You would probably do these things in their own room. So I have a potions room in here. And I did the setup a little different because normally I would just kind of put things up against the wall and have a centerpiece. But I broke my mold. My husband talked me out of it. And so we have a couple, because you don't need to place every single potion thing. You don't have to use them all, okay? Especially once you finish the game. But here they are. I love the movement in these. I put things on the walls that I thought were like, I mean, the swamp I felt like played well into, because I do kind of think of Slytherins as a potion masters. And then this table was a centerpiece because it's double-sided. So, and yeah, you can see like some of these shelves, like the pot you would grab. And so I placed it over there so that you would grab it and use the like potion area. And then this chair I intentionally angled so it looked like this was a space that was being actively used. But this side has the book on it. And then let's back up. So we've got this little bouncing potion here. And even this picture, it says like Potioneer or something like that on the bottle. So that's why I chose that to go in this section, just to represent that this is the potions section, because I love potions and really wanted a section for that. So now let's get into our Hufflepuff section over here. I love this as a centerpiece. Now, again, I did the banners on either side. Let me give you a little tour here. And really played with the yellow, I made sure the table was not yellow, but I love the food, I love the pots, and so I made this, you can change sizes on everything, so I made this one a good bit bigger. And I love the dividers, it makes it feel like it's its own room. And then over here we've got a chopping station, like things that feel like they fit. So I had a chopping station in the potions class too, because you would put herbs and things like that in there. So I wanted everything to make sense, like the dinnerware. I mean, even though it's like an Umbridge reference, they're plates. And so I thought this is the section for my Hufflepuffs, because they are just loyal, kind people. They're probably the ones making the dinner. So we're not gonna be making them elves make the dinner every time. You know, this is cruel. It's cruelty to elves. So I thought that they would be in here making this, getting dinner ready. So we've got all of these little stations, and then just a place also for pots, because, you know, herbology, playing off everything with the yellows there. And so that is this section. And I've got like these bookshelves kind of framing it, but I like the little kind of peekaboo. It's wide enough that you can get through to either side. You can see a little peek of what everything is. But yeah, I love, here's one final look at this whole section here. The dining room, a really fast final look, but there you go. Yeah, like I said, I love all the movement and everything. And I didn't mention this earlier, but this is not I did not mod this. There are no mods. If you look others up, there are ways to modify if you're on a PC and just really go to town and make things closer, but you work with what you have, and I wanted to show options without modding. So that is what I did, and that is my room. Let's go back up here and see our Christmas tree. Oh my goodness. Let's take our sweet time here and get back into the center. So here is the room in all of its glory. One last time. I don't know what my favorite section is. Well, oh, thank you, Deke. Deke is applauding me. But yeah, let me know in the comments down below. First of all, have you done your room of requirement? Have you even played Hogwarts Legacy? Are you in the middle of playing it? Did you finally get your hands on it? And what did you think? I feel like these things are just a reflection of who you are, and this is a reflection of who I am. I'm a Gryffindor. I love Christmas. I love playing with colors. I love decorating. I love framing things. I just love playing around with like shapes and lights and stuff like that. And so that's been my take, but I would love to know what has been your favorite section in here. And I'm very excited to show you the vivariums, which we will be doing in separate videos to give them their own space and breathability, but that is where our animals are at, so those will come on later on. But thank you so much for watching. I will see you in the comments down below, and until next time, my magical friends, remember to love what you love with everything you have and keep making magic. Bye.